So I have a question about the whole vaccine part. Um, you have personally not taken the vaccine, right? Or no, right? We were actually, as foreigners here in Shenzhen, China, we were offered to take the vaccine here, but it was out of free will, only out of free will, and we would be able to sign a paper. I have not taken the vaccine because of the things you mentioned. I believe the same things. I don't believe it's necessary to take a vaccine at the moment, but at some point when we travel, we'll have to take a vaccine. What would your opinion be at that point? If, for example, you want to travel to another country, you will have to take a vaccine. Would you take one, or will you avoid it in some other way?
Well, if you only have the option between a vaccine and no vaccine, well, up until I will wait for another 3 years. I don't need to travel. If we are talking to each other on a huge distance
Mm.
from Belgium. I mean, why should I travel? If you want to take the risk, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit our issue because, well, our families live abroad.
Yeah, so we have to travel out of China, but
Yeah.
My family partially also lives abroad.
Mm.
These are the consequences that you take or you don't take. It's something that you have to decide individually what you want or
Mm.
what you don't want. But as I said before, there is no biomedical reason to enforce these kind of measures because you're not sure that A, you are protected, B, you can still transmit to others. So what's the use of implementing or enforcing
Mm.
a vaccine measure?
Right,
I can't
right, right.
get my head around it. It's we have a case now in Belgium. It's a good one. Last week, a nice example. 20 students from India came over to study nursing here in Belgium. They were tested before leaving in India. They had to stop in between. I don't know in which country. Were tested again. Were negative. Came in Belgium, and 7 of them tested positive.
is that the difference in testing, or how does that work?
We also know that the PCR test is not reliable.
Ah, yes.
So what are you going to do? Here in Europe now, they suggest, okay, you can travel. Or either you have a vaccine passport, but even if you have a vaccine passport, you still have to get tested. So what's the use of a vaccine passport? I don't know. So, and if you leave with a PCR test here and you come into the other country, you have to take a test there once again. And if you test positive, what will you do then? Because we have a certain percentage of false positive results in PCR tests. So how reliable is all this? I don't know.
Mm.
Listen to the entire episode of the Immunity Podcast.
Link in the description below.